going to talk about something revolutionary today, a cashless ESPP. That's right, an ESPP that employees don't have to contribute to through payroll deductions. I know, right? That's crazy talk. ESPPs have been around since the 1960s, and since the 1960s, employees have been contributing to them through payroll deductions. But I think there are actually some really valid reasons to consider a cashless alternative for your ESPP. ESPPs are the #1 way that public companies deliver equity to their general workforce. You can see here that twice as many public companies offer an ESPP to their general workforce as offer any other type of equity vehicle. And those ESPPs are a great deal for employees. Nearly 80% of them are tax qualified. Of those tax qualified plans, 70% offer a 15% discount, and over 60% offer a look back. I cannot think of any other investment that offers a greater return for the same amount of risk as an ESPP. But there is a problem with employee stock purchase plans. Currently, under most plans, employees have to contribute through payroll deductions in order to participate. In fact, under most plans, employees are out of pocket for 3 to 6 months before they can realize a return on their investment. That is a problem because many employees live paycheck to paycheck. Various sources estimate that anywhere from 50 to nearly 80% of American workers live paycheck to paycheck at least some of the time. And this trend holds even when we look at different income brackets. You can see here that no matter what income bracket we're looking at, there is a significant percentage of employees who are living paycheck to paycheck. And now I have some homework for you. I want you to go to your proxy statement and look up what your median employee pay is to see where your employees fall in these income brackets, because that gives you an idea of what percentage of your employees are paycheck to paycheck. Now let's turn for a minute to our executive officers. So this is the same chart that I showed you at the beginning, but I've updated it to show the equity vehicles that we offer to executives. And you can see there that for a majority of public companies, the most common way that equity is offered to executives is in awards where the executives do not have to pay for the stock. So either performance awards or restricted stock and units. So if we look at how executives typically acquire stock, in most cases, they get their stock for free. They do not have to pay for it. Even if you are among the under 50% of companies that grant stock options to executives, they still don't have to pay for their stock. How are they exercising those options? They are almost all doing same-day sales. They are using the appreciation built up in the option to fund their purchase. And executives are not even paying for their taxes. In most cases, executives pay their taxes using share withholding, or they sell some of the underlying shares. This feels to me like the opposite of how things should actually be. Our executives who are most in a position to pay for their stock, they get all their stock for free. And our rank and file employees who are least able to pay for their stock, well, we're going to make them pay for it. Not only that, we're going to hold on to their money for 3 to 6 months before we give them their stock. But it doesn't have to be this way. The same financing mechanisms that are available to your executives for their equity awards can also be available through your ESPP. Whether you have a qualified or a non-qualified plan, you could allow employees to fund their purchases using a sell-to-cover transaction. This is very similar to the same-day sale transaction that we are all already familiar with for stock options. Employees would sell just enough shares to cover their purchase price. You could also allow employees to do a net purchase, which is the same thing as a net exercise of a stock option. Now, it is true that a net purchase, it's not clear that that can be available for a qualified ESPP, but I think there are actually a lot of advantages to non-qualified ESPPs. I've blogged about this topic and I've mentioned it in some of my other videos. So for me, that is not a significant drawback. And either way, sell to cover or net purchase, the employee is only using enough shares that are necessary to cover the cost of the purchase, and employees are holding on to the rest of their shares. This means that more employees can participate in your ESPP because financing their purchases is no longer an obstacle to their participation. It also means that employees don't have to choose between the ESPP and their other financial goals, like, say, paying off their student loans or contributing to the 401k plan. The ultimate result is that more employees will own company stock. So, to go back to my original question, yes, absolutely, I think that you should consider a cashless ESPP. Are there some technical matters to work out? Sure. I know you're not going to implement a cashless ESPP without first talking to your legal advisors and your service providers. But I think that a cashless alternative can be a game changer in terms of making your ESPP accessible to all of your employees and wealth creation for your employees. I hope you've enjoyed my video. If you did, please subscribe to our YouTube channel so that you are notified when we post new videos. Heck, you know what? Even if you didn't enjoy it, subscribe anyway. Maybe you'll like the next one. Thanks for watching.